LinkedIn is the best social media platform from which to build a personal brand, whether it is to be found by recruiters to get your next job or to build your business. So I'm Cassandra and I help motivated professionals build their careers and businesses through practical tips to build career confidence. So let's get started. Okay, so before we get into it, if you like LinkedIn content, please give this video a thumbs up, hit the like button, and then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when new videos like this come out. I put them out on LinkedIn every Wednesday. I put them on YouTube, but about LinkedIn every Wednesday. Also, of course, connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find me over there and all my info is in the description box below. So now let's start talking about your profile. So number one, you need a great photo. Now, this doesn't have to be fancy, okay? People equate great with like, oh, I have to get a professional headshot taken. No, you don't. We all have amazing cameras on our phones now, so put on a nice top, stand by a tree or a brick wall or something without a bunch of craziness in the background and have a friend take your photo. Just make sure there's no extra people in the background. You're not cutting anybody off. It's not a selfie, right? Anything like that. Other things to note, your fanciest day is not the photo that you want. So nothing of you as a bridesmaid or a bride, not in your graduation cap and gown. Those things are not it. We want you to look like somebody who's going to be on the job. So you want to look like you on your best day at work. Okay, so if you're looking at gaming, it's a t-shirt. If you are looking at finance, you're in a button-down shirt with a tie, or for women, maybe a button-down shirt and a blazer, but something that matches your industry. The reason this is so important is because when somebody searches for your area and you pop up, there are only three things they see. They see your name, your picture, and your headline, which brings us to tip number two. Okay, tip number two, you want a keyword-rich, SEO-friendly headline. What this means, take away the default headline. The default is always going to be your most recent title. So if you are still in college, it is going to say student. If you are in your first entry-level job and your job is like admin assistant or marketing assistant, that's what it's going to say. But you probably do so much more than that. So change it. You want it to have keywords in your headline. So tell me what you do and tell me who you do it for. So you could literally say, I help, and insert the types of people you help, do, and tell me what you do for them. On mine, I do have a title first. It says career consultant and speaker because I want to be found in search for speaking. And then I put focused on, and I talk about the key areas I talk on. I talk on LinkedIn, I talk job search strategies, I talk networking opportunities, things like that. So those words are there so that I can be found in search. Okay, number three, you need to add your experiences in the experience section. The easiest way to do this is to just copy paste your bullet points from your resume into that description box. So you will put the company name where it says company, your title where it says title, when you've worked there, and then there will be that description box. Just copy paste it over. It's going to be the easiest way. If you haven't done a resume, make sure in this section you are talking about what you do in the company, not what the company is. They don't need a description of the company. I can click on the company name and go straight to their company about page and read about them. I want to hear what you do in the company. Tip 4, do not sleep on the skills section. That skills section is vitally important because it is SEO friendly and one of the ways you will come up in search. So you want to make sure that you are putting your top skills in this section. In the beginning, I say aim for 10, and then as you gain more skills or think of more skills, try and max out that section. Tip number 5, still in skills, make sure your top 3 skills are listed first. LinkedIn changes their user interface all the time, but currently, as of the making of this video, only your top 3 skills are seen automatically when someone scrolls your profile. If they click on it, then it'll drop down and show everything, but most people are only going to see your top 3. You can move your skills around, so write your 10 down, put them in the system, and then decide what are the 3 that are most important and move those to the very top. This also seems to be the ones that you get, or that others will get more notifications and encouragement to endorse you on. And so you want to make sure the right skills are at the top. Okay, number 6, make sure to add projects to your profile. So you can add links out to other websites where maybe you've written a blog post or been featured somewhere. You can put PowerPoint slides of a presentation you're really proud of. You can put a link to a podcast you were on. You can add video. So anything that really showcases your work, you want to add in your profile as a project. And it's a really easy button on your editing side. You just click down and projects will be one of the options. Go in there and it'll walk you through fill in the blanks. Okay, so tip number 7 is don't overthink that about me section. Now, this is actually one of the sections that's towards the top, and you see that I skipped it and made this number 7. That is because people freak out about the about me and sit around and don't write it, and then think because they didn't write it, they can't connect with anyone yet, and so it delays the whole process. So first off, you don't have to have an about me section to get started connecting on LinkedIn, but when you're ready to write it, don't overthink it, y'all. This is basically your introduction to others on LinkedIn. So please use I statements. I would not write my about me saying, Cassandra is blah, blah, blah. No, I say, I help, yada, 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 right? So use I. Think about what you want to share on LinkedIn and what you were hoping to learn and get from LinkedIn, and state those things in that section. You also can share something fun and personal about yourself. Now, of course, nothing too personal, but this is a great place to, towards the bottom of that section, just share some fun facts about you. Like, I don't know if I have it on mine right now, but it would not be inappropriate for me to talk about how I only drink iced coffee even in 0-degree weather. Like, it's just a fun little tidbit that someone who reads the section could then comment on in a message to me and say, hey, I love iced coffee too, right? It's weird things like that that will bond people. So don't be afraid to put a little bit of that in this section. And then last, this seems really obvious, but make sure to add your education. Most people do it, but they don't understand why they're doing it. That education section, once you've posted where you went to school, you are now added into your school's alumni network on LinkedIn. And the alumni feature on LinkedIn, I think, is the absolute best feature, and yet no one ever talks about it. I actually made a whole video about it, so if you want to learn more, I will put a card to it right here. It'll be in the description box. So make sure you add your education and add it properly so that you get filtered into your school's alumni network on LinkedIn. It's amazing, and it's going to be a game changer for you in your connection searches. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch that video. We are going to talk about a couple of different ways that you can beef up your LinkedIn profile to make sure you are an excellent candidate and show your worthiness. So first up, one major mistake I see people making is that they have these awesome skill sets that were developed in organizations or volunteer experiences, so they weren't paid. And because of that, they put these experiences under volunteer and under organizations. The problem is those things are so far down your profile, and sometimes only the name of the organization is shown and not really what you did. You gotta click through to it. So I want you to start putting those under experience, okay? It doesn't say paid experience. It doesn't say professional experience. It just says experience. So if you were a volunteer somewhere where you can actually bullet point the things you did that were relevant to the jobs you're applying for, please put it under experience. So let's go with the idea you did social media marketing for your local Boys and Girls Club. Okay, volunteer, but you got great experience doing social media because that's what you want to do in the future. you need to put Boys and Girls Club as your company, okay? Then under title, you'll put social media marketing volunteer, comma, Los Angeles chapter, something like that. So if it is a local organization that's part of a bigger org, always put the national version as your company name so that you get the nice little icon, and then you'll come up in searches. Then in your title, you can put that it's for the local chapter. Same thing if it's something with school. If you are president of PRSSA at your school, put PRSSA as the company, and then put president, comma, Biola University chapter, right? Or Harvard University chapter, or wherever you go to school. But put it that way, and then it will show up in your main experiences. And then, of course, add your bullet points in the body paragraph section so that people can see what you actually did in that role and how it relates to the future career that you want. All right, next, share what you're looking for in your summary. So we've talked about summaries before too. Another whole video on that. You know, all this stuff relates to each other, guys. But in your summary, you can totally say what you're looking to do next. So if you are unemployed, you can state your goals outright. Now, you're not going to say you're unemployed, but you don't have to worry about what your current employer is thinking. So you can just say, my next goal or my ambitions right now is to find a social media manager position at a large PR firm in Los Angeles. Great. Then you can come up for those types of searches. Now, if you are still employed and you don't want your employer accidentally reading your bio, which, fun fact, they're probably not going to, but just in case, you don't have to say it in quite those terms that directly, but you can talk about your passion for social media, how you've been working on your skills with Hootsuite or whatever social media software people are using now, right? And so you can put those skill words in there so that people see that you'd be a great person for their position. So in your summary, talk about what you're doing in your current position as well as the skills you've been building and how you keep doing this because you just love to take on new challenges. And believe me, recruiters will get the hint. If you are looking to change directions with your career or business, but you don't have specific experiences related to that, say at work, volunteering, in a student organization, you can use the project section to just show what you've been doing as a hobby. So let's say you really want to get into graphic design, but you haven't done that for anybody. You've just been playing around with it at home, and you have now some work that you're pretty proud of. You can put those projects up on LinkedIn. You can put a short film up. You can put a short story up. Anything that highlights your skills, put under that project section and it'll show to everyone. Okay, so that was last, but one little bonus tip. I know you can upload your resume on LinkedIn. I think it's a great idea to, but please remember that everyone can see that. And so you might not want to put your phone number or your home address if you still keep your home address on your resume. Make a social media friendly version of your resume that only has your email and upload that copy. If you haven't played with it yet, LinkedIn has a jobs tool that is super cool and has a bit more bells and whistles than other job search tools online. Sure, you can look on Indeed or Monster, company websites, but LinkedIn's has a little bit extra, a little something special. First thing is when you click on the job tool, it will let you go to manage your preferences. And one of the things it's going to ask is, do you want to let recruiters know you're searching? There's a little tab you can move back and forth. Yes. I say always yes. Even if you are not looking for a job in this moment, you should put that tool to yes. I am searching, I am looking, and you even get to do some preferences below of yes, I am actively looking, no, but I'm open to offers, no, I'm not actively looking, but I'm open to offers, etc. So you can choose that. But You never know when opportunity is going to strike for a job, and so I think you should always be open to it. Make sure you click that open. And people have a lot of questions on this, like, will other people then know that I'm looking? Will my boss be able to tell? Nope. They don't see it at all. It's just a tool that goes to the recruiter software for LinkedIn to let them know who is open to new positions. So the second thing you need to do is fill out your preferences. Make sure on this page you are filling it out with as much information related towards your search as possible. So fill out any titles you'd be interested in, any types of industries you're willing to work in, what level of position. So if you were looking for internships, only click the internships tab. But if you were interested in part-time jobs and internships, or you're looking at full-time and you do freelance work, put all, right? Click on whatever works for you. This isn't going to limit you in any way. This is literally just figuring out what types of recommendations they should be giving you on the jobs page. So the more information you give them, the easier it's going to be for them to let you know what's available. And one part I really like on this is you can add locations. So let's say you're about to graduate and you're willing to get a job in the city of your college or your hometown. You can put both. Or maybe you've always wanted to move to New York. You can make New York an option, and so it will only give you jobs in those locations. But you can set more than one preference, which is nice because, like on Indeed, you can't do that. So when you start searching jobs on that jobs page, when you click on one, look to the right at people also viewed, and then scroll to the very, very bottom to jobs similar to this. What I have found is that the algorithm takes a while to figure out what jobs are right for you. So sometimes what comes up on that main page might not be all great fits. But once you find one that is a good fit, the similar jobs at the bottom are probably going to be really, really good fits for you as well. Because LinkedIn does a very good job of knowing if they like this job, they're also going to like all of these jobs. So while they still might be figuring it out on your main page, that similar jobs and people also viewed is going to do really well for you. So I mentioned that the jobs tool on LinkedIn has some extra bells and whistles that things like Indeed do not have. This is my favorite one. It will often in the job description have a section that says meet the team, or it will show the recruiter hiring for that position, or both. If it has those, my next tip, reach out to those people. So click on their profiles. Don't just click connect at the bottom. Click on their profile, read their profiles, and then hit connect and add a note saying, hey, saw you work at this company on this team. It's something I'm really interested in and have been looking at the position. I would love to connect. What's going to happen? They're going to connect with you. They're going to go look at your profile and see if you're a good fit for that position. I can't guarantee it'll get you a job, but it will get you one step closer. So it's just nice to be able to have that feature to kind of see, like, do these seem like people I'd want to work with? Do I have anything in common with these people? Let me start building relationships with them now. It's just a great added tool so that it makes you a human to them instead of a piece of paper that applied through an online system. And then similar to tip 4, tip 5 is use that feature of people you're connected to who work at the company. So when you look up a job on LinkedIn, it will tell you how many people from your school work at that company. Or if you worked at a major company before, it'll tell you 5 people from whatever major company you worked at now work at this company. So you're gonna wanna look at those people. Click on those links, see who those people are, and connect with them as well. This is a great way to start building some inside relationships. I would be connecting with them and saying, hey, saw you work at, let's say, Taco Bell, because they're a great company. Saw you work at Taco Bell and went to UC Irvine. I am a current UC Irvine student about to graduate in May. Would love to work at Taco Bell one day. Let's connect. That's it. And then once they've connected, you can go through and ask them for an informational interview so you can hear more about what they do, what their job's like, do they like working at the company, and start building those relationships. Now, this might not help you get the job that is posted today on the website, because this is a little bit of a process, but it will help you get those inside connections so then the next job that comes up, you have some people on the inside to refer you. So I just really love this feature because it will help you start building those relationships for jobs down the line. Something that I get asked a lot is, do LinkedIn endorsements even matter? Like, does anyone care that you clicked a little button? So today I'm going to share with you if they matter and what to do with them in the first place. Let's start talking endorsements. So you can probably guess what I'm gonna say, but heck yes, endorsements matter. People love to say like, ugh, nobody cares about endorsements. In fact, there are some highly ranked videos here on YouTube that say endorsements don't matter. Yes, they do. LinkedIn is the #1 tool of recruiters. It is the #1 platform of business social media. And to get ranked higher in search, it's all based off your skills and the endorsements given to those skills. So you need to care, #1, about your skills section, and #2, what you're getting endorsed for in that skills section if you want to be found in search. So that is the very clear #1 reason why it matters, but there's a second reason that it matters. Endorsements are a great way to connect with other people, reconnect with other people. So let's say you have connected with someone and it's been a month and you maybe don't have anything to message them. Maybe they haven't been posting, so you have nothing you can comment on for them, but you want to show them that you're paying attention to them. Go on their page and endorse them for something. You know, click on their top 3 and say, yep, they can do those things. And if you've noticed, LinkedIn has changed endorsements that now you do have to say, how do you know this? Did you work with this person? Did you experience it firsthand? You don't have to hit all 3 features on that new dropdown, but you do, I think, have to hit the first one. So make sure you click on how you know the person and have worked with them in this capacity before. And if you can add additional information, it's going to help build the emphasis on that endorsement. So it's honestly a nice little way to kind of get on people's radars, stay in touch, etc. Because look, I'm excited when someone endorses me for something. So, you know, if you feel like helping me out from this video, go on my page and endorse public speaking. I would love it. It's just a great way for somebody to see who you are, and no one's gonna find out that they got endorsed from somebody and go, why'd they do that? No, we're gonna be happy that someone was thinking of us. So because endorsements matter, your skills section and endorsements are something you really wanna be paying more attention to. I think a lot of people have a set it and forget it mentality to their profile when they get on LinkedIn, right? They do it once and then they never go back and check it. Go through your skills section and weed out any skills that you don't really want to be endorsed for. You know, when you started on the platform a couple years ago, maybe Microsoft Word was one of your top skills, but now that's pretty basic compared to all the other skills you have. So go through and reorganize that skills section, take out any skills you don't really care about, and put in some new ones. So for example, I had programming on my skills. Now, I meant that for event programming because I work in higher ed and we love to call any sort of event planning programming. But that got someone's attention. They're like, hey, you do programming? I used to do like blah, 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 like all this computer programming. And I went, oh, not that kind of programming, but thank you for letting me know. I need to go delete that from my skills, right? So it helped me weed out my skills section so that I'm known for the right things. And then make sure the top 3 skills you want to be known for are at the top. On your LinkedIn profile, it now only automatically shows your first 3 skills, and then everything else is in a drop-down that very few people are going to click on. So make sure that you have your top 3 skills listed first. To do that, you just click on the pencil under skills, and when all your skills come up, those little 3 bars next to each one, you click on that and you can slide them around. So now that I have you jazzed on endorsements, you're probably like, but how do I get them? Well, the best way to get endorsements is to give endorsements. So go on some other connections pages, be they friends, family, people you really want to get in front of, and endorse them for some skills that you know they have. Maybe it's something you've worked on a project together and seen them do. But in some capacity, go on their profile and endorse them for like 2 or 3 skills. You don't want to endorse 10, you don't want to endorse a big number, just 2 or 3 per person. And then that will even prompt LinkedIn to go back to them and say, hey, Cassandra endorsed you for this skill. Would you like to endorse Cassandra for one of these skills? And it will prompt them on skills that you have as well. So take a couple minutes each day and endorse some people, and you will start getting all those endorsements you've been looking for. I know the feeling. You want to ask your boss for a recommendation on LinkedIn, or that former boss, or your coworker, or that person who supervised you on that project at school, whatever. But it feels really daunting. Like, ugh, I don't want to make them do all that work. I feel bad asking for this. What if they say no? I know I would feel like, ugh, they want me to write a recommendation? Well, I promise you it's not that hard. So today I will give you the key words you need to say to make sure you get the recommendation of your dreams for your LinkedIn profile. Before we get into it, please know that you don't need a ton of recommendations on LinkedIn. I would aim for 3 to 5, but in all honesty, if you go look at my profile right now, I have 2. So while recommendations definitely have value, you don't need 10, you don't need 20, and you know what? 1 is better than none, so let's just start there. Okay, so there are 2 keys for asking for a recommendation. 1, we're gonna quantify this experience, and 2, you're gonna let the person know that you will reciprocate on the favor. So when asking someone for a LinkedIn recommendation, make sure to always put in the sentence, I would love for you to write me a LinkedIn recommendation if you wouldn't mind. That's 1 sentence. It would only take 3 to 5 sentences and a couple of minutes. Let me know if you would be okay with this. And of course, I would be happy to reciprocate. So you've quantified it. So instead of it feeling like, this giant recommendation letter, it's come down to 3 to 5 sentences. And so the person on the other end goes, okay, I can write 3 to 5 sentences, no big deal. And then always make sure that if they say yes, you go back and do the same for them. It's very important. And yes, even if you are the hourly worker and they are the owner of the company, you still go write one, because everyone loves to be seen as a valued manager as much as you like to be seen as a valued worker, right? Or valued subordinate or whatever. So it seems like, oh, why would they need the lower person's recommendation? But that's going to give glowing reviews of who they are. So always be willing to reciprocate. See, once it's quantified, that huge task becomes a 5-minute task. In all honesty, once someone starts writing 3 to 5 sentences, they're gonna be in the zone and they might keep going. And even 3 to 5 is enough, because that makes a paragraph, and let's be honest, that's all anyone's really reading on LinkedIn anyways. So give it a try. Make sure to quantify and offer to return the favor, and let me know in the comments if you've done this and if it worked for you. Of course, make sure to connect with me on LinkedIn. Leave me a note letting me know this is how you found me, and give this video a thumbs up if you like LinkedIn content, and subscribe if you haven't already. And now that all the things are said, have a great day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.